Hello there, my name is PolishLynx, welcome back to Yousei. I think we are closer and closer to the end. So let's go. What do you think? I don't know if I believe him, but it couldn't hurt to talk to Aaron. I think he's still in his room.
Lead the way.
Of course. Anything new? Jupiter came. She's truly concerned for Aaron's well-being. We're talking to Aaron now, right? No. Yeah. Hunched over his desk. He's graduated from drawing spirals to doodling flowers. Hey, Aaron.
Yo, something up?
We kind of have to talk about something.
Okay.
Aaron drops his pen on the binder and pushes himself away from the desk. He spins in his chair a few times and finally slows to a stop. His hand reflexively moves to his camera and he snaps a shot.
Sup?
Have you ever borrowed Nathan's ID card?
Yeah, all the time.
Why don't you use your own?
Does it matter?
In this case, it kinda does.
I lose mine a lot. Leave in the lab, wrong pair of pants, stuff like that. It doesn't matter which card you use to log in as long as you do, right?
Do you recognize this?
The Kigarski holds up the printus and Aaron leans in to get a good look at it. He squints.
Yeah, not really. What is it?
An expulsion notice.
Aaron's eyes widen.
That's no good.
No, it really isn't.
The data suggests that Nathan has been accessing files he shouldn't be. But we have reason to believe you were the one using it.
Whoa.
Aaron holds up his hands in self-defense.
I didn't do anything like that.
Kigarski tosses the pages on Aaron's desk.
You're from Western State, aren't you?
Yeah?
I hear Edgewater University and Western State are bitter rivals.
Oh,
Aaron suddenly looks very uncomfortable. You still think of yourself as a Western State student. Just look at the stuff you keep in your room.
yeah, but...
So, what was the plan? You transferred here to steal information and send it to your friends across the state?
No!
Aaron folds his arm across the chest.
There's nothing here worth stealing. Western State's way more advanced. Honestly, coming here is like a step back.
What do you mean?
Aaron looks down and fiddles with the settings on his camera.
We moved on from growing organs a long time ago.
What?
The organs we were producing were failing. Hard. But we figured out how to encourage the body to grow certain cells over others. Which means that given the right stimulation, the body could regrow its own organs instead of us having to make new ones.
Self-regeneration.
Guided regeneration. And even that was limited. No new arms or anything crazy.
He looks up and his finger twitches instinctively over his camera.
We haven't really gotten it working yet, but the theory is solid. Plus, it has plenty of applications beyond organs, like growing healthy cells instead of cancerous ones.
But the research here would probably still be of great interest to anyone at Western.
As if. Western wouldn't steal anything from Edgewater, even if they could.
What makes you so certain?
We've got our school pride. Stealing research is like accepting help from the enemy.
With all your dedication to Western, why did you even transfer here?
Clearly not for the excellent grad student program.
You know, there's stuff more important than school loyalties.
And for you, that would be...
My boyfriend lives 10 minutes from here. We got tired of the long-distance thing when I was at Western, so I moved.
Okay. Do the others know about this?
Well, duh. They've all met him. In fact, I was with him during each of the login times listed on the timesheet here.
You remember all the dates and times you were with him?
I remember these ones. It's our weekly Myth Cards game night with his friends. Ask any of them. Although these login times are only every other week for some reason.
Either this coincidence or whoever used the card waited for Aaron to leave before stealing the information. On top of that, if Nathan knew why Aaron switched schools, why did he suggest something different? The Kigarski and I trade glances. The look in his eyes says he's thinking the same thing I am. Aaron picks up on our silent exchange.
Something wrong?
Do your lab mates know about your weekly gatherings?
Yup, I invite them every time, but they don't really want to go. Why?
One of your classmates suggested that you transferred schools to steal information.
Aaron's expression tightens.
You mean Nathan?
Well,
You just asked if I ever use his card.
I sigh. Yeah, we mean Nathan.
Well, you should probably know that everyone uses his card. He and David hate getting up early to go to lab, so they trade off.
How so?
They take turns waking up early and signing in at the lab with both cards. That way, they get to sleep in every other day.
That sounds like a convenient little racket. And you're not part of this?
I actually like waking up early.
Heh? I keep forgetting people like that exist.
So, do you want phone numbers for my alibi or something?
Not at the moment. Just don't go anywhere. We might have more questions later.
Sure, I've got nowhere to be.
The two of us bow out of the room as quickly as we can. Great, so now what? Seems like everyone we talk to just points at someone else.
Detective?
Limei steps into our conversation.
What's up?
Gursky looks surprised that Limei would even speak to him.
Why do you not ask Aki and Aoki for aid?
A thin frown spreads across the detective's face, as if he's just taken a bite out of something very bitter.
I'd rather not.
They will find the truth.
Limei's right, you know Aki and Naoki can help.
I know, but
What's wrong? You've been fine with using them before, why are you trying so hard to sideline them now?
because I don't want them getting hurt.
Gursky's patience snaps and I take an involuntarily step back. We all know the risks of doing this, they've probably faced worse. You aren't making any sense.
Because this mission doesn't make any sense. Why here? Why them?
Gursky tightens his fist and for a brief moment I wonder if he's about to punch me in the face. However, he proves better at keeping his motions in check than I've ever been and he instead opts to turn away.
It's like she doesn't even care what will happen to them.
Okay, now I'm really confused. Who are we talking about? With a frustrated sigh, Gursky shakes his head.
Never mind. The two of you are right. This will go faster with them working on it.
Gursky quickly regains his composure and he turns back to face me.
We're going to recheck everyone's alibi for these dates. I'll speak to Nathan. You talk to Jupiter, and tell the twins to take David. Limei stays with Aaron just in case.
Can do. See you soon. Oh, it still turns out. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Aki.
You look determined. Something happened?
Yeah. And no, but you're on the case now. Officially.
Finally! Why the change?
We've hit a little bit of a dead end. Remember that ID number I found?
Yeah, Nathan's right.
Yeah, except Nathan claims someone else must have been using his card. He said it was probably Aaron. But Aaron denied it and he's got an alibi. He also said that Nathan and David use their cards interchangeably, so...
So we've got evidence of a crime and no one to pin it on.
Yeah. Gursky says you and Naoki are supposed to interview David.
Convenient. Well, it shouldn't take long for us to figure out what's up. Where is he?
The library.
Good.
Aki's eyes close for a split second and she nods lightly.
Let's get going then.
The two of us move across the campus at a brisk pace, stopping outside the student lounge where Naoki waits for us.
We have work?
He looks pleased.
Yep. Interrogation.
Who?
David, still trying to figure out the approach.
What are we looking for?
We found evidence that someone's been stealing information and selling it off to Edgewater's rival school, Western State.
Why don't we try a home invasion?
Am I lifting?
That's usually easier. Unless Khan wants to try?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Besides, I have to go to talk to Jupiter.
Fair enough, but we'll teach you how to lift a wallet someday.
You mean steal?
Shouldn't you be interviewing Jupiter right now?
Shouldn't you be interviewing David right now?
Well, I would be if you weren't keeping me here talking to you.
I wave Aki off with an exaggerated sigh. I'm going. I meet you guys outside the library, okay?
See you there.
I wave my card on the reader outside lab, and the door opens with a soft electronic beep. Jupiter must be in if the front door is still open to me. I rap on the doorframe as I enter the lab. Hey, do you have a moment?
I do, but please make it brief. I have a lecture soon.
Have you ever used Nathan's ID card to log in?
You mean that childish game they play, swapping cards with each other? No, I do not partake in it.
But you know about it.
They think they can, how is it said, defeat the system. I know they do not always arrive on time, but it is wiser to let them believe they are winning. Otherwise, they may devise a trick even harder to keep track of.
Fair enough. And I don't suppose you come here to work late?
Of course I work late, you know that.
How late?
Maybe 10 or 11? Why do you want to know?
Someone's been logging in every other week, like after midnight late.
Yes, Nathan. I brought that to Dr. Johansson's attention. Is that what this is about?
I'm not sure, but we think whoever was logging in with Nathan's card was sending off information, maybe to Western.
I find that difficult to believe. But I cannot say it is an impossibility. I will search the records more thoroughly later, but for now I must leave, or else I will be late for my lecture.
Right, I get it, I'm leaving now. I leave the lab before Jupiter can politely kick me out. Well, that wasn't as fruitful as I hoped, but I'm pretty sure Jupiter was telling the truth. Hopefully Aki and Naoki had better luck. I arrive at our meeting point, but I don't see either of the twins.
Yokon!
Did we keep you waiting long?
Yes. Aki and Naoki approaches from the library. They look excited. Not really, I'm afraid I didn't learn very much, so still no idea who was using the card.
Oh, no worries there. It was David.
What? How do you get him to confess?
We're very convincing.
Aki smiles proudly. So he was the one selling information off to Western?
Yeah, not so much. He was the one logging in with Nathan's ID, but...
He was selling test answers to students.
Johansson did talk to him about it, but he gave him a second chance. Seeing how far the test scores have fallen since their talk, I'm inclined to give David the benefit of the doubt.
Except now we don't have the emotive anymore. I groan and rub my forehead. I can definitely feel a headache coming on. Maybe we're coming at this the wrong way.
How so?
Well, we've been trying to find a motive and tack it to a person. Maybe we should try finding someone with the opportunity, then we can work out the motive. For instance, Nathan and David were together in the lab, so they alibi out.
Actually...
What?
David confessed that he didn't go to the lab yesterday morning. He said it was Nathan's turn to wake up early, so he slept in. He didn't see Nathan until almost 11 o'clock.
Oh, can we believe him? Aaron said he was asleep for most of the morning, so he can confirm it.
You're right, but that means both David and Nathan aren't in the clear anymore.
The same could be said of Jupiter. If none of them saw anyone else yesterday, login times hardly mean anything. Add to that the fact that Aaron saw Chance on campus already today.
In other words, we're back at the beginning.
Aki sighs and shakes her head.
Fine, divide and conquer. We're talking to everyone again.
No!
Just left to teach class, and Nathan's still out too.
Jupiter said she's got a lecture to teach. Aki closed her eyes and lets out a quiet breath.
Well, I just told Lee to talk to Aaron.
That leaves Sean and Chance. Which one do you want?
Sean, I guess. Maybe if I'm lucky, he'll give me a free pen or something.
Alright, we'll talk to Chance.
Thank you.
Meet you back at the fountain afterwards?
Sure. The twins accompany me to the school lunch, and we part ways. Sean is reclining in one of the chairs, absent-mindedly scrolling through something or other on his phone. Hey!
Yo! You look like you got an important mission.
Kind of. I just have a few more questions about yesterday.
More? What else is there?
Just double-checking a few things, no big deal.
Well, feel free to ask away.
You've never used Nathan's ID card to log in anywhere, have you?
What? Why would I do that?
It was just a question.
Well, it's kind of a weird question.
The door to the student union opens and Lima enters. She looks serious. Her eyes light up as soon as she sees me.
We found something.
You mean you and Aaron? Lima nods and hands me one of the photos that Aaron snapped yesterday. Aaron's not a bad photographer. Wait, this was taken yesterday. I don't remember seeing that bag. Someone must have been in the tower when Aaron took this.
Oh, is that one of Aaron's photos? He's a little overzealous sometimes. I can ask him to tone it down if you want.
Actually, I pointed at the bike in the background. Is there any way of telling who uses the campus bikes?
Not really, man. I mean, it's not like we tag him or anything. Sorry. Wish I could be more help.
Limei frowns and takes a step towards him.
No.
Huh?
Is there anything you're not telling us? Sean laughs nervously.
It's nothing important. Just,
If it's not important, you shouldn't have any problem telling us, right?
well, that bike's from one of our older fleets.
And?
When the first fleet started getting worn out, the school sold them off to students. That was maybe 5 or 6 years ago. My family donated a new set, but they're a different color.
Wait, if that's the case, my mind is churning. There's only one person who could have been at the bell tower during the time Dr. Johansen was killed. Limei and Sean stare at me expectantly.
You have it.
What's up, man?
I know who the killer is!
What killer?
Dr. Johansen's!
Hang on. You're telling me someone murdered him?
Someone definitely murdered him and Aaron managed to capture the killer's bike in this photo.
You sure of that?
Yeah, I'm sure of that. Nathan did it. Because, well, let's face it. He's there for 7 years, right? So the bike is the old one. And it was replaced 5 years ago. So there's only one possible solution, I guess. Nathan did it.
Nathan? Do you have any proof?
Yeah, that's his bike in the photo.
But how can you tell?
You said that those bikes were sold off to students 5 years ago. You and Nathan were the only students here at the time.
There are plenty of grad students who were here 5 years ago.
But none of this campus. The main campus maybe, but not here. If you wanted a bike, you'd just buy a new one. You hate being associated with your family, so there is no way you'd use their family's bikes. Sean's eyes twitches, but he doesn't reply. Nathan claimed he was in the lab all morning, but he doesn't have a real alibi. Jupiter says she didn't see him until later, and David was sleeping in his room, and I can't end the episode because we are at the end probably. Nathan could have logged in at 10 and left to meet Dr. Johansen and snuck back in later without anyone knowing. And David would have to lie to back up his alibi if he wanted one too.
Are you sure? I mean, he seems like a pretty great guy.
Yeah, I'm certain. Sean sighs and runs his fingers through his hair.
Well, I think he just got done teaching a class, so he's probably in the sleep lab.
The sleep lab?
Yeah, he lives off campus, so he usually crashes there for a while before his next class.
Are you sure?
Well, definitely. He wouldn't be anywhere else.
Thanks, you've been a big help. I turn to leave, but Sean grabs my shoulder.
Hang on.
What's up?
Well, if he's really the murderer, don't you think it's kind of a bad idea for you two to confront him?
Sean looks surprisingly uncomposed. Is he nervous? I think we can handle it.
But why take the risk? Maybe you should go get that cop to help you out. He doesn't know you're after him. There's no hurry.
Actually, that's where you're wrong. The longer we wait, the more he's going to think about running.
Okay, but...
We're going now. Limei and I leave before Sean can protest anymore. I glance over my shoulder before the front door closes. Sean's making a mad dash for the cafeteria. What was that about? I turn to Limei. Something doesn't feel right, does it? Limei shakes her head. Both of us feel uneasy, especially after seeing Sean's swift departure. Oh man, so it was... Sean said. As we approach the lab, we see Nathan exit the front door. He looks like he's in a hurry. He knows! Sean must have had second thoughts and given him a call. Nathan looks up at us, and I see a panic flash across his face. He turns and runs back into the building. Go around! Without hesitation, Limei sprints around the side of the building. I run for the front door and throw it open before it can close all the way. I catch up to Nathan quick and grab his shirt. He whirls around and pulls away from my grasp.
Let me go.
He pulls his light sword out and points it directly at me. You can threaten me with a prop sword. With a determined grunt, Nathan smashes the blade of his sword against the floor. The end shatters in small rain of glass shards. He points the jagged glass blade at me and turns slowly. The sharp and glistens in the bright light.
Let me go.
Okay, I may have spoken prematurely. I take a slow step towards him. Can you just tell me why you killed Dr. Johansen? Nathan glares and tightens his grip.
Don't mourn him. He was a coward, too afraid to make use of the power he had. He didn't deserve to have it.
And you do.
I deserve it more than you!
Nathan raced towards me and swung his sword at me. I jumped back, but the glass tears into my shoulder. Ah! I clutch my shoulder and feel something warm between my fingers. I hold my hand tight against my shoulder to slow the blood and try to ignore the sting. Guess he wasn't kidding about all that sword training.
It's not fair!
Nathan's practically screaming by now.
Why do you get to have it when I can't?
He swings the shattered blade at me again. I stumble back, barely escaping another cut. What are you talking about? With an angry cry, he thrusts the sword towards me, driving the glass into my feet. My leg collapses under my weight, and I take a desperate leap backwards, but rushes from my leg faster than I thought possible.
You really are a waste of dragon's blood.
What? I stumble the wall and slide down the ground. My body feels cold. I know this feeling. It's the sting of death, but this time it takes a moment for me to realize I'm genuinely scared. I am so used to the terror I felt in others that now it feels like a distant observation. Blood pulses relentlessly from the cut in my leg. He must have sliced through something major. Nathan lifts the sword over his head and brings it down my head. In my last bitter moment, I shut my eyes and brace for the impact. But the impact never comes. I open my eyes to see Limei standing over me. She's blocked the sword with her hand. The glass tip of the sword has broken off and gone straight through her palm, but she isn't bleeding. My vision is getting blurry, but I think her hand is sparking. Nathan releases the sword with a terrified squeak. Limei inspects her hand calmly and flexes it. It's still impaled on a long shard of glass. Her gaze turns to Nathan, and with another inhuman shriek he turns and runs. Limei takes chase and overtakes him easily. With a fluid motion she kicks his legs out from under him, and he falls to the ground. He struggles to get up, but she slams her foot in his back, pinning him down. She draws the long glass shred from her hand and presses it to the back of his neck. I can barely make out Nathan's terrified cries, but Limei looks disturbingly calm. Limei! I barely manage to whisper her name, but somehow she hears me. She opens her eyes to survey her work. She looks down at Nathan, as if it's the first time she's seen him. With a quiet gasp, she tosses the glass blade away and takes a step back from him. He lets out a grateful sobbing moan and scrams away from her, desperately clawing at the tile floor. Limei rushes to my side and her eyes widen at the sight of all my blood.
Kangai!
I take a shaky breath. I really underestimated him, but I'm trying not to be too cut up about it. It's supposed to be a joke, but neither of us laugh. Limei presses on one hand against my open wound and pulls out her phone with the order. I think it might be too late for that. It's even harder to breathe and my head is starting to feel light. Limei stubbornly shakes her head and dials a number on her phone. Whatever conversation she has sounds like it. Little more than frenzied sound to my ears. As soon as she hangs up, she places her other hand on my leg. I look down the hole in the back of her hand left by the glass from Nathan's sword. It's hard to tell, but I think I see wires. My blood is seeping through the hole, spilling out over her hands. It looks like you are bleeding. I think that was supposed to be a joke too, but I can't tell anymore. Why am I even trying to tell jokes right now? I'm called Limei. I don't think.
No!
Limei cuts me off with an emphatic cry.
Don't go! You can't go!
Her body shivers and I realize that with all my blood on her, she's probably having a hard time even staying conscious.
If you go, I'll be sad.
My vision grows blurry, but I manage to place my hand on hers. Don't be. It's getting harder to feel anything. I take a deep breath and my chest shudders. I only wish I had more time. My grip on Limei's hand relaxes and the darkness claims me. Okay, so that was one of the roads for Yousei, and that was good. I really hope he didn't die, actually. I really hope for that. And I actually would love to have another game from that series, because I really enjoyed it. All three. Alright, that was Yousei. Hope you enjoyed. I must think if I should record more roads of this or not, but I think like recording more is not a good idea here, and I will just leave you with one, and well, you can always buy the game by yourself and check the other roads, because well, that's the way you should be sometimes. I love this game too much to do that, actually, and yeah. Now I need to do the other roads by myself. Okay, hope you enjoyed that one. Sad ending, but well, sometimes it's like that. And see you in the next game, probably. We'll see where this is going, actually. Bye.